5, 4, 3, 2.
Yo, and welcome to the Ambition Hour podcast. I'm your girl, AuDii 3000. This is episode 28.
Yo!
We got an audience this time, guys. It's not just me. I'm so excited because the Ambition Hour podcast has taken a field trip to Dookie Studios. We actually have him in the building.
Yo.
Before we get into that interview, and we hype Dookie up because we love him. He's a big part of WTW family. So I'm really excited to have him here. I just want to go ahead and say thank you so much to everybody who tuned in to last week's episode. Episode 27 was amazing. I got to share some things that I haven't really gotten off of my chest, and I got to share with you guys. We talked about ambition and thank God I'm ambitious. We also talked about advice to some of the artists. Jay-Z and Beyonce, like always. And, just some of the other stuff that we had going on. And I just want to appreciate everybody who tuned in and subscribed. From last week to this week, you guys, we have gained 20 plus followers, I would say.
That's a dub!
Hey! I'm
gang.
so excited because we've been
Gang.
hella what we do is that we like to give them a shout out. Like, hey, if you subscribe to the channel, then we give you a nice little shout out on social media. And so shout out to everybody who has been subscribing and just liking the content that we've been putting out. Thank you so much. This week, today's episode, we have question of the week. LeBron opening a school. We find out who Keke is. The Obamas go to On the Run 2 tour, and our special guest, Dookie. So without further ado, he's here. We got him. He's the first guest that we have had, and since a couple of episodes ago, which was episode 21, where I had my little cousins. Make sure you guys check that episode out. I have my little cousins on the show, Dookie.
Yeah?
Yes. So without further ado, like I said, we do have Dookie. So give it up for Dookie, you guys.
What's good, y'all?
An Ambition Hour podcast. Welcome. So thank you for being here.
Well, thank you for having me. Yeah.
Dookie, guys, is an engineer, a producer, right? An artist. He sings. He's a dad of a dog. My man has many hats. So tell them a little bit about your studio. We're in his studio. So shout out to, my setup. I love being here.
Yeah, you already know y'all always welcome here, man. WTW, Dub T Dub, they're taking off. You already know, man. House of Jones coming soon.
That's a fact.
But yeah, man. I'm excited. I'm excited to get into it. You feel me?
I'm
Big fan.
really excited to have you here. This has been something that we have been talking about for a minute, so I'm really happy that you're here.
Yeah.
I'm grateful. We also have Kanye in the building.
Yeah, you
guys,
already know.
Kanye, you've seen him on my post. That's your dog.
Yeah.
Tell me about. Okay, so obviously Kanye came from the rapper,
Right.
but tell me about when you got Kanye. Like, how excited were you for that?
Yeah, I was pumped. It's a funny story actually. Like, Kanye wasn't his original name, cause I got him. It wasn't even supposed to be my dog. Like, it was actually supposed to be my friend's dog, and his mom didn't let him keep it, and he was gonna take it back, and I was like, nah, fuck that. I'm gonna keep this shit. I hid it from my parents for a while, you feel me? I even tried to give it to my ex. Like, she was like, you feel me? Like, it had 3 names at one point, and I was like, fuck it, you know what? I'm just gonna keep it myself. And I asked my friend at the time, I was like, yo, what should we call it? And me and him, our favorite artists, we would always listen to, and it was just Kanye. It's all his shit, his old shit, new shit. This was 4 years ago. And so we just called him Kanye, man, and history from there,
I
that's
love
right.
that name. And every time that you come to the studio, that's who you see. That's the first person. It's Kanye, then Dookie.
Yeah, he definitely greets you at the door.
And he either hello loves you, or he like me, he kind of a little shady with me. But I love him. He's so sweet.
He warms up.
Yeah,
You got to give him his little time,
He definitely warms up. Have you seen the new video for In My Feelings? Have you seen the video for that?
Nah.
Well, the video
good?
dropped
Is it
this
fire?
week. It's dope as fuck. It's directed by Karina Evans.
Oh, I gotta check it out.
I love Karina Evans. Oh, make sure that you guys tune in to next week's episode. I'm gonna be doing a part on Karina Evans because she's 22, 23 years old.
She's the one that did the last few, right?
Yeah, she's the one who has done God's Plan.
Right, I saw God's Plan and I saw
I'm Upset. she's behind that one too. She
Nah,
did.
nah. Oh, I did see.
The
I'm
Nice for
upset.
What?
Yeah, Nice for What.
Yeah,
That's
she
what
did
I
that
was
one
thinking.
too.
That's what I was thinking.
So she's a really dope director, and she's only 22 years old, and she's like Director X's protege.
Right.
Director X has been a director for a very long time in the hip hop industry.
Yeah, he was
so.
the one that was doing all of Drake's videos before.
And yeah, and Sean Paul videos. That's who I saw growing up.
I remember he did. I think he did the. I'm on my worst behavior. that shit was a hard ass video. That was a dope ass video.
Yeah. So next week we're definitely going to be talking about her. So I'm really excited to see that happen. And something else that we're going to be talking about is the Obamas went to the On the Run 2 tour.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. You know, that used to be our president.
I mean, of course, but
Yeah.
he's in touch. You feel me? Like he was always, you know, and he's got 2 daughters that I'm sure like keep him updated. You
Yeah,
feel
no,
me
for
with
sure.
all the like what's going on.
For sure. We're gonna get into that stuff a little bit later. But guys, it is time for the question of the week.
Oh shit.
So
let's get it. What's
this
the
week's question, Dookie,
What's
that
up?
Instagram voted. Thank you guys so much, everybody who voted. Shout out. Oh, before we get into the question of the week, you guys, I'm gonna need y'all to like get your phones out. If you're on your phone, make sure that you guys go ahead and subscribe to WTW TV. We like to welcome everybody. If you're new to the Ambition Hour podcast, make sure that you hit that subscribe button. But then also there's like a little bell. You like click it, you click the bell, and then they get an email, bro.
Oh, that's the notifications. Yeah.
Bro, you get an
yeah,
email.
yeah.
I need to have my emails about when, like, I like when my artist drop something and then I can get an email sent directly to my phone telling me like, yo, this shit's on here. You know what I mean? Like, I need that. That's how I knew about the Drake video. But so yeah, so I want to make sure that you guys subscribe. If you're listening to us on SoundCloud or Apple, make sure you guys subscribe. Leave a review, give us all the stars. We appreciate all of that, and we also appreciate all of the comments and everything. Also, if you want to know exactly where to find everything, all you gotta do also is just go to WTWRecords.com, you guys. You click on that link. Yes, you click on that link, and bam, it takes you to the podcast link. It takes you to the YouTube link. It takes you to all the links. So make sure you guys take a little bit of time and just log onto the website, the YouTube, wherever you're listening to us. Thank you. So we're gonna go ahead and get straight into the question of the week.
What's up?
I had to make sure that I welcome the people.
I know.
Like, you know, so the question of the week, we basically just posted a picture. I'm gonna show it to you because I want to get your reaction on camera. So look, this is the question of the week. LeBron James and Michael Jordan.
It's a tough one.
It is a very tough one. Out of, I would say 50 people, 50 votes. Thank you everybody who voted. They go onto my Instagram and they can vote. And it's either LeBron or MJ. So thank you to everybody who voted. Also follow me, AuDii Ambition on Instagram. And okay, so the percentage was 34% said LeBron and 66% came from MJ. Now, this week, we did say that LeBron dropped not dropped. I'm talking like he's dropping a project.
He dropped the school.
No, he opened up a new school and it's like been bananas, like everything that he has done for the school. So this has been a topic that has been brought up. Like, oh, MJ opened no school. Of course, the internet. So what's your response?
Well, yeah, I mean that's just. I'm interested to hear what you got to say too, but it's a complicated question because they both obviously have their strengths and advantages. You get what I'm saying? And they played in different times. So like, I played basketball, so like I love basketball. I watch it all the time. And Kareem actually said something recently, which I kind of agree with him, that it's like there doesn't need to be one GOAT. You get what I'm saying? Like there can be multiple GOATs. You get what I'm saying? So, and I agree with that, but for the question, I'm gonna answer it my best way. You know, like MJ, way clutcher than LeBron, way more clutch. So that's his advantage. But LeBron's just a physical beast, and I think as an all-around basketball player, LeBron's better. So I personally would rather have LeBron, just because I feel like he makes the people around him so much better. Like MJ could score like crazy, and this is, I'm gonna say too, I'm biased. I never grew up watching MJ. I grew up watching LeBron, you know, play for the Heat. I'm mad that he left, you know. Fuck that nigga. But I don't know. I still I fuck with him. Like I think he's he's just a beast, man. The shit you see him do, like.
Yeah, no, for sure.
MJ was a beast too, but different level.
My response, and y'all know I like to keep it funky with y'all on the Ambition Hour. I like to make sure that y'all know what. When I ask these questions, it's because it's something that I do want to talk about. And I feel like this is something that is never going to go out of style. Like, that conversation is always going to be relevant because even back in the day, there was always a comparison between MJ and Kobe. Why? Because Kobe was the GOAT in that time. So, see, now for me, I grew up watching MJ. My dad used to have like a big ass screen TV in like the living room, and we used to watch the games all the time. So I remember seeing MJ. And I remember being in Cali like with the puffy ass jackets from the from the Bulls, like hella repping the Bulls in the Bay. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was because it was just like, who wasn't? It got to that point to where like he set that standard for basketball players after him. You know, so it was just like the notoriety that he gained from just being that player, and that you always know like those are Air Jordans. Not saying that LeBron doesn't have the same impact, because I'm sure somebody,
not in the shoe game.
Yeah,
not nearly in the shoe game.
I'm sure that if I were to like maybe talk to like a kid that's younger who like grew up watching LeBron, you know what I mean? Like he has been such a consistent player these past couple of years, to the point where it's like he's doing so much for the youth, and he's doing so much. No,
his off the court. I agree with you 100%. That's why it's such a broad argument, because I was just talking purely basketball. Yeah, no. But then you get off the court and it's a whole different thing, because you know, like you said, MJ's shoe empire, in terms of businessman, crazy. But in terms of for the community, you know, social impact, LeBron's on a whole nother level. LeBron's on, you know, a level that probably no athlete has ever been on, ever. And people say that, you know, like.
Something that I like to bring up is that I don't really like LeBron.
Like, as a person?
Like, I don't like him, period. Like, I there's just something, but I also recognize real. You know what I mean? And that's a real man. You know, that's something that because I've talked about LeBron before on the show, and I've shared my shade, you know, with the people, because, you know, I like to be really honest with them. And it was just funny because, like, every episode, like, I would, like, say something, but it's very positive about him, but then I'll be like, I still don't like him, though. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm still going to pick MJ. And that's why the majority vote was MJ. You know what I mean? Like, I guess that's my demographic.
But I don't know. I feel like MJ more of a dick. You don't hear the stories of MJ, like, where people go up to him and they try and take a picture of him, and he's like, "You don't get the camera out of my face. Like, I will slap you." Like LeBron. You know, you can say what you want about LeBron. He's kind of, you know, but I also think that it's partly because the people who's around him, like Maverick Carter, like they have a lot of influence on him in terms of what he does towards the media and everything, and you know, he's never had a real scandal. You gotta say, like, when you're that famous, you know, you live your life, like, think about all the shit you do that you wouldn't want people finding out. Think about that. Think about that. All right? And he's never had a scandal. He's been famous since he was 16.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Since he was, before he was even in the NBA, he was famous.
I'm really glad that you brought that point up, because that's something that is very true about him. And that's why I respect him as a man, because as a man, he's a stand-up guy. And what he has done, even down to what the influence that he has had on Tristan Thompson, even after the whole scandal that he went through, and then he kind of took him under his wing and was just like, yo, come chill with me and my wife and see what it's kind of like to be a married couple. But we'll see what happens, which happens to be the track I'm going to be playing, which is off your project Franjo, Ain't Shit Gang. Yeah. We're going to be talking about your guys' project, but I really want to get into this song, so we'll see what happens. Tell me how that song came about, and why did you guys decide to make it the intro for the album?
Well, damn, you put me back. We got a bunch of beats from our producer, one of our producers. His name is De La Dope. Shout out De La Dope, amazing producer. Go hit him up for beats. Mad different style, but we got a bunch, like 50, maybe more, you know. And we were just going through them, and we heard this one, and right away we were like, this sounds like an intro, like a loading screen. Like, if you hear it, like, it's like, you know, and it's like, we had just dropped the project before, which was Sea Dudes on Sea Dudes. And it was like a wavy project. Whole project was very like, I mean, produced by Andy Atlantis.
Hey,
So you can
shout
already know, very wavy, watery, you know.
Fuck with
And
it.
so this song was almost like a good transition, because this Franjo is a lot more, you know, like energetic, you know, very Miami, but like not so wavy, more like bouncy almost. And so, but this track was like it was dope. It was such a weird like mix of them, and we were like, yo, we gotta put this in the beginning, and we gotta put like, you know, and we gotta just transition. So when you're hearing our whole discography, like if you ever listen to, which whoever knows who will, but like if you ever listen to from the start to the end, you know, from our oldest to our most recent, when you hear that, it's like a transition of the sound from our last album to now what we're doing with this new one. And we start off, the first lyric is, I was lost amongst the waves, you feel me? I was drifting in the tide, lost amongst the
And
waves.
that voice.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Like,
Bruh, I like, he was doing something, and I like, I'm pointing at Hav, guys, sorry, who's in the building.
Shout
so
out
it's
Hav,
Spitz.
shout out
to the boys in the
Hav.
building.
shout out Spitz.
We got the boys back. I'm excited. And I literally like told him like, stop what you're doing. He was editing Welcome, which is out today, you guys. Welcome is a new video.
Go
by
check that
Spitz.
out right now. Right
Bro,
now.
Don't think that was Saturday, bro. And I stopped. I made him stop what he was doing, and I was just like, yo, you gotta listen to this right now. And then so I do have a question. Before we get into the track, is, you know what? I think I'm gonna save this one until when we come back. Because that way they know what we're talking about when I ask this question, because this is a good one. But I'm really happy that you're here for the question of the week. Thank you to everybody who voted. Make sure you follow me on AuDii Ambition. Make sure that you guys check out this track, which is We'll See What Happens by Ain't Shit Gang, right? Yeah, it's the Ambition Hour podcast. I'm your girl AuDii 3000.
Took the Sea-Doo for a ride. Got lost amongst the waves. Now I'm drifting in the tide. Trying not to slip away. Been kicking for so long now. Trying hard to catch my breath. Yeah, I think it won't be long now before I meet my dad. Fuck it, I just keep swimming until I see the shore. I think I might just stick with it. I never gave up before. You know I gotta keep living on this earth to do more. Mama ain't raised no quitter. I feel the shit to my core. Feel the shit to my core. Running by the tide, we forged our own supply. We stumbled forward towards new chapters in our lives. Running by the tide, we forged our own supply. We stumbled forward towards new chapters of our lives. Took the Sea-Doo for a ride. Got lost amongst the waves. Now I'm drifting in the tide. Trying not to slip away. Been for so long now. Trying to catch my breath, but I think I won't be long now before I meet my death.
All right, so that was We'll See What Happens by
Yes.
Dookie. Welcome back to the Ambition Hour podcast. This is your girl AuDii 3000. Make sure you guys follow the Ambition Hour podcast Instagram.
Do
and
that.
That's the Ambition Hour podcast on IG. Everything is spelled normal. So you know, you just at the Ambition Hour podcast. Make sure you guys follow us. We're trying to get our followers. And so we're just trying to build that page up. That way, we get to see more of our audience. We get to connect with you guys. You guys are always commenting on the videos, and you have Instagram. We do drop a lot of content on there as well. Also, the question of the week. I had dropped this really like cool, like it was like a album collage, with a whole bunch of CDs. That shit was dope.
On Instagram or Twitter?
Instagram.
Follow that.
Yeah, everybody. Okay. So is that a saxophone or trumpet on that track?
It's an alto sax, and we got my boy Trevor. Shout out Trevor. I met him at Newell. I went to Newell for acting. He went for sax, and we hit him up, and we were like, "Yo, we need you, man." Like we had talked about collabing before, and we were like waiting on the right time. You know, like the thing with collaboration, it's delicate. Like a lot of people want to collab, and I always tell them, I'm like, yeah, I'm down, but like it's just gotta be right. Like you can't force a collaboration. Like I feel like, cause then it comes out, it doesn't come out right. You know, we made that track with the beat from That Dope, and we were just like, it was still missing a little something. We were like, we know exactly what is missing. Hit up Trevor, boy came through. We recorded it right here, and yeah, it was beautiful. He snapped.
That song, what caught my attention the most in that song, that was what made me be like, and then that's why I was like, I need to know, because like sometimes it could be a trumpet because of like a jazz feel that a trumpet player can play, you know. So, and I love the horns. That's kind of like the sound that like the Dub sound as well, and they also have that, which brings me to like this really because you work with the boys a lot. Like you work a lot with the WTW boys.
Yeah.
And so being one of the engineers that they work with, describe to us what it's like working with these dudes. Like you worked with Hopsticks and Laid Back. Then I come in.
It's always a good time. Always smoked out. So you already know. But nah, you feel me? Like I remember the first time they came in, like it showed mad love, and I appreciate that. Which like, you know, like I record a lot of people, but it's always nice when people, you know, go out of their way to be like, you know, nice, like and respectful. So that, you feel me, won me over. And then they, you know, they make fire music. Like I've been fucked with their shit. I mixed their next upcoming tape, which like I said, House of Jones, coming soon. And that shit hard. Like Sosa, he came through, knocked out tracks like fat. Yo, they work fast. It's just it's a good time.
You know, it's one of my, I love coming here. Like every time that I find out that they're coming here, I'm like, bruh, I love just going to the studio, but like when it's here, it's just like, bruh, he has a couch. And I like to listen to music while I'm chilling, so I just like chill on that couch. You know, Kanye's here. You know, I've been saving this shirt for like the longest, to wear on an episode, and I'm like, why do I feel like this is like the best episode to wear it on?
It's the perfect one.
Like,
shout out
like,
Kanye.
You know what I mean? Like this is from Glow in the Dark. Like the concert that I went to, like that shit was crazy. But
Graduation is a fucking amazing album.
Yeah, like
one of my favorites. He has like three or four perfect albums, which like
that's one of them.
Like I was saying like earlier to you, like I feel like an album, like, you know, is a work of art. It's like a masterpiece. Like anybody can make a good single, but an album or a mixtape, like a project, takes, you know, a lot of people will fill it with just filler. Like it takes some to make every single song hit and for it to work all together. Graduation, the vibe of that project is like so on point. Like I remember I was playing basketball in high school. On the bus, I would just play that shit like on the way there, because it would just get me in like a hype mood. Like, can't tell me nothing. No, you can't tell me nothing.
And then Jeezy
right?
on it.
Oh, bro, like come on, like come on.
You know what's crazy is that I heard that song for the first time on my graduation day.
Really?
Yeah, and then Through the Wire was a song that I heard when I was like a freshman in high school, and it would come on Rap City all the time. Like at 3, like it would come on at a specific time. I'll take my happy ass from the bus and run home so I can watch the video. That's like some real Kanye shit. That's why like I could never talk bad about him. That's crazy.
No. Yeah, I mean he's going through his shit, you know.
Yeah,
like, but like I can't say I agree with everything he says, but hey, you have friends you don't agree with everything they believe, but like still doesn't change the art he makes, like the fire music, and like let him go through his shit.
So I'm gonna go back to the time that we first came here. I remember pulling up and I'm like, wait a minute, he has this at his house? I'm like, I fuck with that. And then I walk in here and it's like, it's crazy. Like, you're gonna give us a tour, right? Like, you're gonna show us the studio. Like, we're getting the exclusive tour of your studio, because the people gotta see it. They see it on my story like all the time, but they gotta like for real see it.
Definitely.
So I come here and then this was your garage before, right?
Well, I actually had an apartment before I moved to this house, and I was like working in a studio, like I had my studio in my apartment, but it was limiting because you can't really like bang out at a studio. So I like was like, you know what, I'm gonna come out here, I'm gonna move out, I'm gonna invest, and I got this house with the garage like separate, you feel me, on purpose, so I could build. It was never a garage, like it was a garage to start when I first got the house, but then I was like, nah, I'm gonna build it into a studio, like, yeah.
That's what I love.
Took a month and a half, but it was.
And it's a very well done job.
Yeah.
Like it's
shout out AuDii.
Yeah, it's awesome in here. Like the vibe, and it's so spacious. That's what I love about it too, because like you can have like different vibes in one session, and sometimes a lot of artists are in here for 4 hours. Like, what's the longest session you've ever had? Longest session
I ever had was 8 hours. 8 hours, and that was like. I even told him, he's like one of my clients, like I fuck with him. Shout out Gino, 47 Gino, you feel me? And he was like, bro, I'm gonna come for 8 hours. I'm like, bro, like by the end you're gonna be like, dude, like get me out of here, you feel me? Like, yeah, you feel me? Cause you come here, we smoke, we get high, and recording, it's fun, but like it's still work. You're putting in work in your voice. Like by the end, his voice was like tired. He was going in there freestyling. But hey, they knocked out work. They put in work. But yeah, at the end of that, I was like, oh, I was exhausted. I took an hour break. Boom, next session came in. You already know. I've been working all night.
Damn, that's pretty crazy. Because like that's why it's good to have a different, like you have a different vibe everywhere you go. When you go into the booth, there's a certain vibe in there that I'm sure the artists love, because it's pretty it's spacious in there, and that's what's up. That's something that is needed for an artist to get comfortable, kind of get in there. You know what I mean? And that's what I love. That's the entrepreneur in you. That you were just like, I'm gonna be investing into a home that has something that's gonna make me more money.
I mean, yeah, like I give advice to all my friends. I ain't shit still, you feel me? Shout out, ain't shit games, but like I tell all my friends, I'm like, yo, take your money, save it, but don't just save it for like save it and spend it on a car or whatever. Like, save it and invest in things that are gonna, you feel me, like make you more money for 5 years. I tell people this, and like it's crazy, because when they don't believe me, like for like 5 years I didn't buy clothes. Like I really, like I would just get clothes that were like given to me by like my parents, or like, you feel me, like by my friends, or like, you feel me, I would maybe go and buy like a 5-pack of like white t-shirts at fucking like, you feel me, like $10, like, cause I wasn't worried about that. The money I was getting, everything I was going back into the studio until I could make money from it. Like, I saved up a bunch of money, and I was like, you know what? Boom, I built a second studio. Now I have a second, I have the B room. Like, this is my A room. I have the B room. Like, I could have spent that money on a trip or done something that, you feel me, like, it's not dumb.
No,
like,
it's not.
I'm
It's
not
just
knocking
different.
it. Like,
Yeah,
it's just different, like, people live their life differently. Like, don't get me wrong, a trip is dope as fuck. You go out, you experience it. If you do it right, you can have like, you can have a life experience. But right now, I'm just trying to build my name, build my brand, get some money behind me, and we'll see where it goes from there.
I mean, you can take the studio with you when you want. You
Yeah,
don't have that much
me?
money, bro. That's one of the things that Cool and Dre,
Yeah.
the producer Dre, he's like always in the studio, and he was on vacation and he took the studio with him. You know what I mean? And like, I just find that that's so cool. That's because your guys' minds just like never stop. You know what I mean? Like, it's interesting how that works. For both an artist and an engineer, do you think that either one affects the other?
Yeah, definitely, but it definitely, and it depends how you want to do it. You feel me? Because I've heard and I've seen like people it affect negatively, like engineers who like they engineer your shit and then they want to get on it, like or you come in, they push their shit too hard. Like I try my best when I like like I make music, but when I'm here to engineer, I'm here to help you. Like, I'm not here to push my music. Like, I make music because I like making music. I'm not trying to blow up. If you fuck with me, you want to make a song, I'm down. You feel me?
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
we can do it. But like, I'm not engineering to be an artist. Like, when I first started, I was but not even to make money. It was like I started because I was an artist and I was just engineering on the side. But now, like, I take it a lot more seriously. Like, this, you feel me, my job, and I do it to help you. And so the reason I also say it affects it is because, and people tell me this all the time, since I'm an artist, like, I've been where they are. Like,
Yeah.
I've been where the artist is, and I can help. You know, I understand singing, I understand notes, so I can, like, sing the note, and they, like, give ideas, give, like, critiques. And people say, like, you feel me, like, they're comfortable with me because, you know, like I said, I've been there, like, so, you know.
Yeah, that's something that brings me back to the first time I came here. So the first thing I see is, okay, this used to be a garage, because to get in here, it's like a garage. But when you walk in, it's like a fucking state-of-the-art studio. Like, you know, and it's crazy, and then you just have, like, the cool vibe, and then the very first session, I noticed that you were very, not like critiquing, but you were helping. And it was in a way that you almost took them to the place that you wanted to take them, that you know that they can get there. So I admired that, like, off the bat. I was just like, bro. And then, like, later on, like, just from being here and talking to you, I ended up finding out that you're also an artist. And that you have, like, other engineers that work here. And then I'm like, what the fuck? Who is this kid? Like, that's the first time that I'm here. So you made a very big impact to where it was just like, of course, like, when it comes to, like, an entrepreneur, because that's honestly the main reason I wanted you on the show, because you have that entrepreneurship that I felt like the people on the Ambition Hour needed to see. You know what I mean? The entrepreneurship side of hip hop.
Definitely.
Bro, hip hop has been around for 45 years. Like, you can make real money off of this shit now. When it first started, those artists weren't making that. You know what I mean? Like, and now, like, you can make that shit up just posting on our phone.
And it was not only were they not making the money, but it was also a much fewer amount of people.
Exactly.
Like, even 15 years ago, you look at the people who were, like, hip hop artists, you can count them in count them up to, like, 15. Yeah, it was like 15, 30 people maybe. You feel me? Like, now it's like hundreds. You know what I mean? Like hundreds, thousands maybe of, like, people with not just, like, garage rappers. No shade to me, but
You said it yourself.
but like, you know, artists with real followings who tour and make money. Like, it, like you said, the game has broadened up. It's just about putting your, you know, your mind in the right place and making it work. Yeah.
And that ambition. And it's crazy because today we were at the Lick Read podcast. Shout out to Lick Read. Y'all make sure that y'all follow them too. It's a podcast that they do at Excitement Radio. And, like, they were just so very cool. And then one of the guys that the host of the show, Sir Ishi, he was pretty open about how, like, you know, this is something that I always dreamed about him being an artist, and that how it just happens, and it's because you just keep working on it, and you kind of, like, focus on the goal that you have, and have that, like, mindset that's going to take you to the next level, because that's what life is all about. You know what I mean? Like, that's something that is so big on the Ambition Hour podcast, is that we want to make sure that, because artists watch this show. Shout out to all the artists that watch the show. Shout out to my cousin who watches the show. Like, my mom sometimes tunes in. Like, I love you. And my dad, like, shout out to them. Tell us a little bit about growing up. You're from Miami, right?
Yeah. I was born and raised in Miami. Both my parents are Cuban. Both of them came from Cuba. And I was actually a little further north than here now. I stay in Cutler Bay, but I was like originally from like South Miami.
Oh, nice. What high
But-
school did you go to?
I went to a few. I went to New World, and then I left New World, and then I went to a private school for a while
Okay.
called Riviera, and then I left Riviera, and then I went to Killian for 2 weeks, and then I dropped out. So if you're listening to this, and you're in high school, drop out. I'm kidding. Nah, it's not for. I'm be real though. It's not for everyone. You feel me? It isn't for everyone. Like high school, I know a lot of people who are very smart people and they do very well in high school, and I know a lot of people who are very smart people and they don't do well in high school. And if people tell you that being in high school and going to college is the only way to make it, they're full of shit. You know, at the end of the day, it's about how you put in the work. You don't, you know, there's many people who are very successful who dropped out, didn't go to college, you know, like there's also there's also very many people who are successful who took the other route. It's just, you know, like you got to find what works for you. Everybody is different.
Yeah, and then it's also because it just comes with like, some people also just want to be that generation that kind of like breaks the cycle of like, I went to school. I'm the first person in my family to have gone to school, and that's a very big milestone I feel for a lot of people, especially in America, because we all come from immigrants, people that came from another country to this country. Like, you know, you just said your parents came from Cuba, and where did the name Dookie come from?
Actually, my rap name before I was like doing the engineering stuff too heavy is Raw Duke. R-A Duke, right?
And why the R-A?
And it was because it came from a mix of two things. It came from, I was in high school, I was heavy into psychedelics, like heavy into that shit. So I was like, it came from a mix of the movie Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. The character's name is Raul Duke. But I didn't just want to be Raul Duke because I was like, that's, you feel me? Like too much, like copying that. But like I also really like this other artist. Like he's a weird, like I can't even describe the music he makes. It's like space jazz. His name is Sun Ra. And like so I took Ra from that, and it's like also, you know, the Egyptian god, and it's like Ra and then Duke. So it's just like Ra Duke. But then like as I was doing the engineering shit, like people would be like Duke, people call me, and then like my boy Timmy especially always be like Dookie, and like I don't know, I started saying that, and it stuck. Like, yeah, it kind of just stuck.
It kind of makes sense with the Ain't Shit Gang.
Yeah, definitely. We're just like, no, you're spot on. You're spot on.
I think shit like that. That's funny because, well, what's your real real name?
My real name, my birth name is Marcos Alvarez. Don't look that up.
You did tell me that. But you're also like, cause you did go to New World.
Yeah.
You went to New World for what? Cause that's not
For
just a
acting.
regular
I
school
went for the first year. I went for music theater, and then that didn't work out because I wasn't too good at the ballet. And
It's like not fucking with the tights.
nah, I mean, yeah, it was just like, it just wasn't for me. You know, I grew up playing sports. Like a lot of these kids, and they were theater kids from the start. Like I was just in sports, and then like I was always an outgoing kid, so I started doing acting and stuff, but I was always doing sports. So when I got to the school and these kids, you know, they didn't know who Derek Jeter was. They didn't know, like, I didn't fit in. I was mad different. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't fit in, and these kids were doing ballet, and I was like, nah. And so I was like, I switched. I started doing straight theater, which is, you know, just like acting. And then I left halfway through that year because my grades were terrible. And yep, you know, like I said, it's not for everyone.
I mean, I know it wasn't for me. I mean, I always like was just in school, and I went to Coral Reef, so it was a magnet school as well. And I was in criminal justice, and I kind of talked about this in last week's episode, that it was like, I just like criminal justice because I like the roughness, the athleticism, but when it really came down to it, I'm like, this isn't really what I want to do though, like, and go to school for it too, like,
it's tough because in high school, like, you know, you don't really know, man. You don't know what you want to do. Like, you're figuring yourself out for sure. You know, like I'm a completely different person than I was freshman year. Like, I was a completely different person when I was a senior than I was a freshman. So I can just imagine, like you said, like going there, being in a magnet program, and then like very quickly people go to college and figure out halfway through their major, like I don't want to do this shit. So like
I knew by senior year because I always like would read hip hop magazines and stuff like that. So and I would always like watching Direct Effect and like Rap City and like 106 Park, all those different shows.
Were you a source or more like a
source or
double XL?
Bro, whichever cover was clever. And I would collect them motherfuckers, and then I would make collages out of them and shit. Like it was I just love all of them. Like and then now I like to see that hip hop artists are on different covers now. Like you got Diddy on Vogue, like GQ, and like,
rap gone mainstream. Rap has definitely gone mainstream.
And so I always love that aspect of the hip hop culture because magazines have always been like, because before YouTube, before Instagram, there was, like hip hop has been around for 45 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yo.
Damn, that's a long time.
Right? Bro, 45 years.
That's crazy, yo. No, like when you really think about it like that, like holy shit.
BT is like doing the cool thing about this. I'm really into it and I'm watching it. I'm gonna talk about it episode 29, but episode 30 we're gonna be doing the Ode to Hip Hop, and we're gonna call it 21 questions. You get it? Like 50? Yeah. Are you mad? Because then that's gonna be 21 questions. We're gonna get into another song of yours, which is I want to play the Donkey Kong. Is that the name of the song?
Yeah, Donkey Kong. Yeah.
I love that song. I love the cover, by the way. One of the things that I saw like right away, is that weed in the bag, right?
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
Like, well,
shout
like
out
everybody I mean Javier. But yeah, I love that. I was just like, and I used to play that shit. Bruh, we would play that shit if we had it. Tell me how that, because you guys even have like down to the coin.
Yeah, well, that's another beat, came from De La Dope, part of the pack. It was called Donkey. And I was like, okay. Played it. I was like, this is gross. Like that was the 808 is just like, ooh. And I have the sub here, so I was like, this one, we doing this one. We hop in, go in, and we start talking. Alex does the hook, and we tried to like talk about the different elements of what Donkey Kong like represented. Like, he's hitting people with a hammer, so my verse is, a little more violent, and I'm like, I literally say, I'm gonna hit you with a hammer, like like. He's talking about like platforms, because Donkey Kong in the game, he's like climbing up platforms, and then the last verse, our homie Demario, Lord Mob D, he was talking about just like on the video game like side of it, like all the different video games he used to play, because he was like heavy into that. I didn't really play video games as a kid. I do like to fight, so it's like, I had to put that in there, and like especially back then, I calmed down a little bit now, but I was going through some shit at the time, so.
It can be like that sometimes. I love the rolling like a bowling team.
Yeah,
and then the
Alex
pull
snapped
up
on that.
Bruh, when I heard that, I was just like, that's clever. And then you have Diddy Kong, when Diddy Kong pops up in the game. And then at the end, how you guys end
the Game Boy.
Yeah, that shit is dope as fuck. So without further ado, this is Donkey Kong, right? That's the name of the song? Donkey Kong by Ain't Shit Crew. We have Dookie in the studio. We got the boys in the studio. This is WTW Saturday. This is the Ambition Hour podcast. Make sure you follow us. Make sure you subscribe. And check this song out.
Ayy, rolling like a bowling team. Pull a pillar frozen, talking under 4 degrees. My liquor be tequila and my soda cream. Heard that you was pussy, nigga, so it seems. Talking that shit like your girl ain't gon' go. Beat the first row cause she all at the show. Lights of the rave, how my gang is gon' glow. Hold up, bro, Peter, flow. River like Nihilesque, people like Childish. Moister than towelless, Sluggy supply the best. Got me higher than fighter jets. Where's my title like Grindr, so long gotta come up. Harder than medieval llama. And your mom think that I'm charming. I'm trippy and wired, this shit's not alarming. I'm studying leaves, burning weed in the garden. We Gatorade all of my goose. Some problems that I can't elude. You pussy and that's just the truth. So pull up and call it a truce. I'ma pull up and puff on a few. Heard your shit, the production was cool. But fam, you might want to go back to school. My niggas serving like BK. Running this shit, it's a relay. Manual murder like EJ. Multiple platforms, I'm DK. Ayy. Rolling like a bowling team. Pull up hella frozen, talking under 4 degrees. My liquor be tequila and my soda cream. Heard that you was pussy, nigga, so it seems. Ayy. Rolling like a bowling team. Pull up hella frozen, below 4 degrees. My liquor be tequila and my soda cream. Heard that you was pussy, nigga, so it seems.
I always knew it, man, I swear I always had the feeling. You been pussy since the beginning, nothing changed. I just opened my eyes and paid attention. See, if you don't really value my friendship, I'ma just end it. Now we so smoked out in the crib, look like we barbecue. Went from smoking mid to the potent, no, we always improve. D about to start a move. Crime pays the label when the artists make the music. Yeah, gang ain't shit, but you love it. All our new shit, know you bump it. Yeah, if I see you out in public, I'ma hit you with a hammer in the stomach, like Donkey Kong.
Ayy, rolling like a bowling team. Pull up hella frozen, below 4 degrees. My liquor be tequila and my soda cream. Heard that you was pussy, nigga, so it seems.
Nobody has more respect for women than I do. Nobody. Nobody has more respect.
Please, everybody.
Oh, Super Nintendo blow my hoe. Clean my cartridges. Donkey Kong country dick. Mario Kart when it's time to drift. Just got me a Street Fighter chick. Chun-Li thick. Hit that hoe with my hot kid. Good game, baby. Press start again. Let's play another round. While these blunts be passing around. I got cheat codes for these coins. Now let's watch this money pile. If I'm gonna play the game, no, I keep the high score. Yeah, I gotta fuck them all. Pokemon go with the horse. Running around, let's go explore. I could take you on my tour. Leave you at a random city. If you're bitching, make me bored. With this pimping, I'm a lord. Mob DA, you know the boy. I was trapping like a store. And that scale, my favorite toy. Right after my Game Boy.
Yo, and welcome back. That was Donkey Kong by Dookie, and we actually have him in the studio. We came to another side of the studio.
You know what's good.
So show them this mural that you have here. Name some of the artists. This girl can't see right now. I got you. Oh,
Yeah. Oh, you got it. All right.
Yeah.
Sure. Nas, Jay-Z, Ice Cube, Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, Eminem, Run DMC, Busta Rhymes, E40, Outkast, Biggie, Ice-T, Method Man. I think, no, that's too short.
that is too short.
Cool J.
Why ain't you helping him
My
out?
favorite.
Common.
KRS,
Tupac.
Easy.
DMX over here. We got a lot of legends in here. I
The only two that I don't really know are these two. I always, I don't know.
We gonna leave them too long because your girl don't know him.
Rakim.
Rakim is yeah, he's definitely a legend. This is one of the things that I loved when I first walked in here.
Yeah,
this is why I wanted to have this in the background. We had to like show some love. Okay, so this week we talked about how the In My Feelings challenge dropped. The challenge, the video for the song by Drake. We do love to talk about Drake, and we love to shed light on him because of, you know, the Karina Evans and also just the music and the impact that he has on hip hop and how crazy. I saw that because the In My Feelings song went viral because of the Shiggy challenge, right? So it was all over.
It was gonna go viral either way, but it went super viral.
It went super viral because of him. I agree. I mean, I heard the song. I didn't think viral, but I'm glad that somebody did because it's a really good song. And then the production behind it was done very well too. So that was pretty cool. The video dropped, and it was crazy because I got to see it. And if you haven't watched it, you should definitely watch it. We got to find out who Keke is, and Keke, if you haven't seen the video, it's Lala. Lala Anthony is Keke. She's a little baddie. So she's in the video, and then you have Shiggy's in it. And it's like in New Orleans, and then there's like a plot twist in there. It's a pretty dope video, so you're gonna have to check it out. It's crazy because I have some stats that I found were pretty mind blowing because of how fast the numbers grew. Like within a couple of hours, like he dropped the video, and 20 minutes after he dropped it, it was already at 208K views on YouTube. Now, I get excited when I get a little 100. Like, I get really excited when I get a little 100, and I appreciate everybody that watches. Like, that's why I appreciate you so much, because I can only imagine, like, when we get to, like, 208K, like the video that we dropped last week.
208K in what, 10 minutes you said?
Like, 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
And then, bruh, it escalated, like, within minutes. And, like, it was 10 hours ago. When it was, like, 10 hours, it was 5.8 views. I think right now it's like past 10.
Yeah, for sure.
That's major impact. And
sure.
One of the things that I liked was I was just like, man, that's hip hop. Hip hop made that impact on the internet. That's how heavy we are in the internet. And
I feel you. But Drake on the line though. You get what I'm saying? Like Drake, like if there's a fence, if there's a line, like he's straddling that line pretty hard. Like that song, to call it hip hop, I feel like is a little bit of a stretch. I feel like Drake's definitely made hip hop shit before, but I feel like that song is pop.
so then it wouldn't even.
And it fits so well because what's behind him. Like.
Okay, so then that means that it's not at all in the hip hop category, because it does get nominated for hip hop videos. I mean, maybe no, not like
and
Drake does.
I know, and I think that's fine. I mean, about what, like award shows or whatever. I just feel like, you know, we're in an era of genre blending, like, you know, especially with hip hop, like we've never seen. And so now you're talking about like. Yeah, just because Drake's a hip hop artist, like he won for Hotline Bling, right? A few years ago. That's not a hip hop song either. You know what I'm saying? Just because he's a like, I don't know. I don't think that. I think that. I don't know. It's hard because I ain't in charge of the awards, so I'm not gonna say what about awards. I'm just talking about what I feel like.
Your definition of hip hop.
Yeah, you know.
Your
like,
definition of hip hop is something more like this, of like these artists and the music that they've made, or.
Yeah, you feel me? I'm not saying that he hasn't made hip hop, because he does. He makes hip hop. Well, he's still the song he dropped about Pusha T was, you know, a hip hop song. You know, like he makes hip hop. I just feel like just because you make hip hop doesn't mean that every song you make is hip hop.
Okay, that brings up a point about like the music that even like that you make. Like you have a very versatile voice, but I always know it's you. You know what I mean? And then that's something that because you can sing, or you can hit that melody that you do. You know, I see you. I heard the project. I see you. It was pretty dope. I was hella jamming to it. I really did. I was blasting it in the car, blasting it when I was cleaning, because I wanted to make sure that I knew like what you were like, because like I said, like for me it was just like the entrepreneurship, and then the like, okay, and then he's also an engineer, and then he also like, I just feel like that's so dope. You know, like that is just so dope, and I'm just so grateful, and I'm really grateful that you're here. This is the Ambition Hour podcast. I'm your girl AuDii 3000. I'm really excited, like I said about the In My Feelings. But with that, like the video is just dope. You know what I mean? And then for it to have made the numbers that it made, and I just felt like that was just pretty cool, because it was just something that was popular, and the video was crazy, and then just the beat. To me, like that's probably just what I associate with hip hop, because to me, like Drake came from hip hop. He came from Wayne. He has like the Louisiana, Houston, Canada like influence heavy in his music, and I always feel like hip hop has taken you, because all of these artists are from different places. Some of them are all from New York, but some of them are from Queens. Some of them are from Brooklyn. Some of them are from the Bronx, which that's where hip hop originated from.
And
so,
they blend that style.
Yeah, exactly.
But Drake was from a lot of, like Drake stayed in a lot. If you know about Drake, like I especially used to like you know, his new music I fuck with, but I used to especially fuck with his old music. If you know about him, he was in a lot of different places. He was in Toronto, but he also spent some time in Memphis. And he spent some time in Houston. You know, like he was around. So So when you're in those different, you get exposed to these different music cultures, and that all blended in his music, and that's why you get what he gets.
Yeah, for sure.
And he definitely is. He makes an impact with hip hop. Like God's Plan, that video, you feel me? That shit was viral, and that to me is more of a hip hop song. I just feel like it's limiting to an artist when you put him in that box. It's like you're really putting him in a box, like, because he started in hip hop, all he can ever make is hip hop. And the awards, all he ever wins awards for is hip hop. Like that song, the numbers it's doing should be winning awards for pop because it's a pop song. Like that's and like it should that should even be like like you said, good for hip hop that an artist started from hip hop and he can be recognized doing other genres of music, and like people respect him for doing that because he's good enough to cross over, and people don't be like, what's this guy doing?
That's pretty true. I just like that's just something that you bring up a lot of good points when it comes to that, because like I said, like it just, for some people it just all makes sense for it to be that way. But something that I have noticed with like your guys' music, like one of the tracks that I liked is Drip. Because like I love the chorus, I love what it says. I love that's Alex on the
Alex.
He sounds like a Thai dollar sign, but like doper kind of thing, like, because I'm just like, okay, like I hear it, but then I'm like, and I know that it's him. How did you guys start, like, link up?
We linked up in New World. He went for art, and I was there for, like I said, music theater. And, we just, I don't know, like at first, like I was annoying when I first got there. And he always tells the story, like he hated me when he first met me, like, 'cause I was just mad annoying. Like I came from private school when I was younger, so I was like, I had a lot to learn. I was like pretty green. And then he, like we warmed up to each other. We like became friends. We both like rap, and that was what we bonded on. We ate lunch together. We were friends, and then he left after the first year, but we always stayed in contact. Me, him, and the third member of the group. He's like taking a little hiatus right now, but he's still the dog. So you feel me? And yeah, it'd be like that, taking care of other shit. But yeah, we always linked up. We always stayed close, and like it's crazy that it's been that long. But like he's my roommate now. We live together, and that's my dog.
And there's other engineers that work in the studio, right?
Yeah.
You gotta shout them out.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out Coombs. Shout out Dirtbag. And that's pretty much the two. I mean, shout out all my clients. You feel me? Like all y'all boys putting in work. You feel me? Coming up soon.
Yeah, come rack up these hours.
Yeah, and if y'all ever need time, let me know. Got A room, got B room. We'll get you right. Shout out AuDii. Thank you. Shout out Ha.
Right.
Shout out Spitz. Y'all boys.
We love it here. I wanted to ask you another. Can you describe your life before you started working on your own music? Like, how was that before? Like,
I was young because I've been making music quite a while. I remember the first time I really got into rap music. My brother gave me 2 CDs, an Eminem CD and a Source Hip Hop Hits. And the 2 people I fell in love with Eminem, and I fell in love with Tupac when I was younger. It was the way they told stories and just the way they painted pictures. And I was like, I got into lyricism, I was into it, and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna try doing it myself. Like I wasn't taking it seriously. I didn't want to be a rapper. I wanted to be an actor at the time. Like I was into the acting pretty heavy. That's why I went to New World. And in my time in New World, I pretty much started to figure out maybe this isn't really for me. Like I'm starting to really like the music more and more. But yeah, before music, man, I was just playing sports. I was really I played baseball, I played soccer, I played basketball. Just played sports.
I'll ball you up. I have a mean 3.
Yeah? Alright,
Don't let the hype fool you, Dookie.
You gotta hit the YMCA.
You know what's crazy is that this is actually the first time that the audience has seen me stand up like next to somebody like in real time. That's kind of crazy. They're gonna see how little I am.
But yeah, I mean, I'm not the tallest person, but I got
you taller. I'm looking up at you. Even when I was
sitting.
Like
I am doing you a little the service though.
Okay, so if I were to get into your car right now, what you listening to?
My car? Yo, you're gonna laugh so hard. I don't listen to music. Like, I don't listen to music barely ever. When I check my mixes, you know, like, but I really barely ever listen to music. I listen to a lot of podcasts.
You do?
I do, because when I'm working on music so much, you know what I'm saying? Like, after a while, I just get tired of it. Like, especially, I mean, I be listening to, the music I do be listening to is usually not hip hop. You know, like, I love Tori Moore. I love, Aphex Twin. I don't know if you know who Aphex Twin is.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, so like, you know, Bon Iver. There's a few that I fuck with, but like I said, I be listening to podcasts like Joey Diaz podcast.
Okay.
And Joe Rogan. You feel me? Just like clips, like mostly because I don't have time to sit through the whole thing, but like
for real.
Just to you know, give me like. I like to hear people talk, tell stories, you know, like, that's why this dope, you feel me? Like,
I love it. One of my, okay, so one of my favorite podcasts, I do love Drink Champs.
Okay,
And
yeah,
so that's like one of my favorite
yeah.
ones because like it's Nori, DJ, EFN, they smoke, they drink, they reel. And you know what's crazy is that I got to meet DJ EFN. And it was crazy because I had just shot episode 20 like the night before. And he was at an event that Killer K was at, which is one of the DJs that has been on the show. Episode 9? 9.
Check that out.
Bruh, DJ Killer K is like, he's such an awesome person. He's an awesome DJ. He's a DJ from Miami Live. But so we got to meet him, and it was just pretty cool because the advice that he gave me was like, just be yourself. You know, just like do you. And I always appreciate him for that because, bruh, the episodes have changed. Hey, comment if the episodes have changed. Let me know if they gotten like more lit. Like, we got question of the week. We talk about Beyonce and Jay-Z. Like, I love Jay-Z and Beyonce, and then that's something that we didn't want to talk about was that Obama was at their concert with Michelle. Like, bro, that's crazy. Bro, I was about to buy Jay-Z and Beyonce tickets the other night.
How much are they?
When I first saw them.
Yeah, I bet they're
Dookie,
asking
let me
for-
tell you, man, they be trying me. Like, your girl got money, but we ain't gonna like. Okay, so I first saw the tickets when I was gonna risk it all. I was just like, they were $195. I'm like, that's reasonable for that section. I'll drop that real quick. Then I found out, like, when I went back, that they went up like a little bit to like $250, and I was like, she played me. But you know, sadly we won't be attending that. Beyond, and then the best thing is that the reason why I even know about the fact that the Obamas were there is because it was all over social media.
Yeah,
and like
they were dancing, right?
Yeah, and then all those Beyonce stan pages are always on my feed because I love her, and I just love what she's done. And then she's even like in the whole. Have you listened to the Carter's album?
I haven't listened to the album. I saw the video for Ape Shit. I like that.
Bruh, that whole album is dope. Yeah, I'm just a really big Jay-Z fan, big Beyonce fan. I'm just like, why didn't they do this sooner? Like, why didn't you guys do this sooner? But I get it. You're in it for the long haul.
Yeah, exactly.
They're in here. They're riding out. They're riding out.
You know, they got the right idea.
That's something that that I love about them, and that the fact that they had the president there, Michelle, they got a nice little section in there. I don't even know how much that section was because of a regular people section was.
I bet you, I would be willing to bet that section was $0. I guarantee you, Jay-Z and Beyonce personally invited the Obamas and were like, y'all could be right here.
Bruh,
y'all could have
like,
bottle service. Y'all
they probably got chicken in there, like food. Bro, I'm thinking about the food, bro, because you be getting hungry at these concerts. And I heard that concert's like 3 hours long, bro. I eat every 3 hours. I need you to feed me. But I love that, and I love that they were there. And I feel you. I really do feel like that they were like literally they were invited. Like they was just like, no, it's really just on us. Like we got you. We got you.
That video crazy where they're in the Louvre. When I first saw that, I was like, oh I'm like, this is like the biggest flex I've ever seen in a rap video ever. And you know, Jay-Z, I love Jay-Z. Every once in a while, he be spinning these old man verses. Hey, I'm a critic at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love everyone, but like I'm gonna keep it straight up. But he snapped. He snapped on that ape shit. That verse where he was like, to the NFL, we in stadiums too. I was like,
bruh.
oh. Cause like, you know, fuck the NFL right now. They're going through their whole fucking anthem protest and shit. It's like, that's a good target to point out and be like, and I don't know. It's just smart. It's smart. You know what I mean? It's a flex. Like, tell them we're in stadiums too. We are like.
We in stadiums. We at museums.
Like, we ain't worried about the Super Bowl. We're already in stadiums. Like.
Yeah, if you fans of the show, you guys know this. We definitely like promote, and when the video dropped for Ape Shit, bro, I had to talk about it. Like, I'm so happy I hadn't dropped the video, the podcast, because I was able to talk about the video. And just like when I remember watching it, and I'm like, bro, this is a museum that like not everybody. You can't just be like, yo.
You can't even take pictures of the Mona Lisa. They don't let you take pictures of the Mona Lisa. They're shooting a video where they don't even let you take pictures. It's like
yeah,
it's like, okay, that's
and then that's hip hop. And then that comes from hip hop.
Yeah, and that's definitely.
And then that comes.
I agree
and I love that.
on
That's why those are the people that I promote. That's the artist that I promote the most, because he's one of my favorite artists. You know what I mean? And it's interesting that you said that Eminem was one of your favorite artists. Because
especially back when I was like, his new music, I'm not gonna lie, I don't really co-sign his new music. Shout out to Eminem, you feel me? I love you, but that, you feel me? Like his old stuff, I was really into it. But yeah, I can't. I just gotta clear that up, because people, you say you're a fan of Eminem now. You know, you gotta clear that up. His last 3 projects have not lived up to expectations.
That's we shot a podcast with the boys. It was Worthy Conversations, and the first episode we did top 10 the most. What is it? The undeniable top 10.
Yeah, the undeniable.
Come on, boys, y'all gotta help me.
Undeniable top 10.
Yeah, and then so they were just on it, and they did like a top 10, and they put at number 10 they put 50. And then they put Eminem, was it at number 7?
Yeah.
And those two, I was like, I don't want them on that list.
Damn, really?
Yeah, you gotta watch the episode though to see like for real how I act, because it's the truth. Because it's just like because that's a whole nother episode. Dookie, you said
I got it.
Yeah, and it is funny because they're like, no, but you don't get it. And you're gonna like the number 1, so you have to watch it. You're gonna like, I know for a fact you're gonna like number 1. Alright, you're gonna like number 1. So I just want to promote that Worthy Conversations, which is another podcast that we have.
Check that out.
On WTW TV. It's dope as fuck. Like the boys are on there. They're talking about the most undeniable hip hop artists, and I'm just excited because that's just the first episode of many. You know what I mean? We're gonna keep going around the studio in a little bit.
Drip, drip, drip when I pull up to the function. Something like my life, living like a leaky faucet. Thinking about the air of my ways while I sip this Arizona, get blazed up. Drip, drip, drip when I pull up to the function. Something like my life, living like a leaky faucet. Thinking about the air of my ways while I sip this Arizona, get blazed up. I'm the creme de la creme, cup for the gin. Might fuck up the function, my table get loose. Flipping the deuce to anybody ignorant to the moves. We need our dudes, 195, career 92. What I seek, finally at final form for now. The growth is constant, I sip some agua. Go outside, appreciate the pulse, quick and back to work. Plug name Abdul, no Paula, shout him. Fuck Don Trump, let's join forces. Oust him, sunk, I stumble. Bunk like Camp is any Poirot, then I'm Ernest P. Warrow. No trapping, not the house, I'm catching vibe, not catching bullets. Keep flexing, baby, you won't ever catch me looking. Patient when I pull up, I ain't stressing while you fussing. C-section, baby, I ain't never been pussy. Shorty got the bold box like Marvin Hagler. I be in the shade off the sheets of shatter. Cake's real thick, Betty Crocker batter. Fakes don't fold, fuck your fruit ass factor. Drip, drip, drip when I pull up to the function. Something like my life, living like a leaky faucet. Thinking about the air of my ways while I sip this Arizona, get blazed up. Drip, drip, drip when I pull up to the function. Something like my life, living like a leaky faucet. Thinking about the air of my ways while I sip this Arizona, get blazed up.
I ain't shit, I ain't shit, I ain't shit. I can't rap, I can't flow, I just drip.
to the function, peep surroundings, then I dip. I don't wanna intermingle, bitch, this table getting flipped. Take the lick from the party to the safe house. I don't want no friends, all I really need is PayPal. No days off, open every single day now. Taking inspiration from the greats. Can't pay up, I can't relate. I can't keep up with what I make, said fuck a budget. Blew a check on an investment just like fuck it. Now we bout to make a movie, call me Quentin Tarantino. All the Asian bitches love me cause they think that I'm a Chino.
Drip, drip, drip when I pull up to the function. Something like my life, living like a leaky faucet. Thinking about the air of my waist, while I sip this Arizona, get blazed up. Drip, drip, drip when I pull up to the function. Something like my life, living like a leaky faucet. Thinking about the air of my waist, while I sip this Arizona, get blazed up.
This is also one of my favorite spots to sit. I like pull up on you. What did you first think when like I pulled up on you? Like,
of course. I mean, people ask all the time. They're like, "Oh, can I sit and watch?" I'm like, "Yeah, for sure." You feel me? Like,
I
check it out.
love it. Like, I just love like watching you like move all of the like the knobs and the this and then the like helping the artist, and I love that. Oh my god, I want to learn how to do that. Like, but and then I kind of do that with the show, and then I guess like it's different because I also like the editing, you know what I mean? So and then it comes hand in hand with what you do and then what I do, and even what like people that do music videos and even like cover arts. Like something that we did notice is that you have a lot of dope ass cover arts. And one of the recent ones that you just showed me, which is from the Mosaic, the project that you guys are like working on. Yeah, talk to me about that.
Yeah. All the covers are done by the other member of the group, like my boy Alex. And yeah, he snaps. He went to New World for art, so you already know. Like that's why.
I've known about him for a while.
He snaps. He does
yeah.
really good on art. And the next project we got coming out is all exclusively produced by Dirtbag. Shout out Dirtbag, hot ass engineer and producer coming out of South Florida, and it's called Mosaic, and it's you know, like it's a bunch of different vibes all within one vibe, and I think y'all are really gonna like it. I think it's our best project yet. I've gotten some very, very positive feedback on the track so far that I showed it to people, so it's coming soon. We're doing some videos, working on some videos. I'm shooting and directing for it, so
Director Dookie.
So we'll see.
Man of
We'll
many
see how
hats,
that
you
works
guys.
out. We'll see. Yeah.
I really like the cover art that you had, and then how it ties into it being art, and then a lot of your cover arts are pretty dope. Like we talked about the Donkey Kong one, which I loved, and then there's the one that you have, like the one of the cover of your house, the one that I posted on my Instagram.
Yeah, Franjo.
Bro.
Shout out Franjo, R.I.P. Jordan Brown.
Cause rest in peace.
Yeah, the photographer who shot that was
Aw,
yeah,
dang, for real. Cause
yeah.
What a legacy to leave. Cause that's very important. Your album is like your baby. Yeah. So the cover of it is so important. And then for somebody so important to that piece of the puzzle, to like lose them is just like, damn. Yes. But that's a dope cover. Like when I saw it, I was just like, okay, and I see that you be having abs and shit. Like, I don't know, what workout plan are you on, Dookie? Man, and I bet you eat like everything you want. I'm out here like struggling.
Yeah, my diet is crazy. I gotta get back into basketball shape though. You feel me? That was a different time, cross country shape. But yeah, I be eating out every day. Every meal.
Is it hard for you to like maintain like kind of a regular schedule because of the hours that you work as a?
Absolutely. I don't create. I mean, like I'm a man of routine, but I'm flexible within that routine. Like I don't gotta eat dinner every night at 12 or whatever. Like, you know, like I go based on how I feel, and I have the privilege of that because I make my own schedule. You know what I mean?
For sure, that's key, especially in this industry, and then because if you love it as much as you do, and then the fact that you're so good at it, and then that goes in not just in the engineering way, the entrepreneurial way, the the artist way, the singer, the rapper, and then you also have the dynamic of the engineers that are all here, and then that's pretty dope too because they are also very talented as well.
Yeah.
And that's good that you have that dynamic here because when artists come, they see that. And do you feel like that gives you like an advantage on maybe like other places?
I'd like to think so. I mean, I have hella confidence in all my engineers. You feel me? And I mean, as long as they're working hard, you feel me? I'm happy. But that was one thing that when I was first starting out, I always wanted because it's nice to have another set of ears to check your mix.
Definitely.
You do the mix like. I do it all myself, but then I'm like, you feel me? I'll turn the coombs and be like, yo, what you think? Oh, tweak this, huh? Shout out, boom, and send it over. You feel me? Like it's just always better to, cause I appreciate it. Like I feel like I know what I'm doing too, but you feel me? Like 4 years is better than 2 years. 2 brains better than 1. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. Like,
yeah.
Like having help is always good, and I do trust them, so yeah, I do think it does give me a little advantage.
That's like how I feel about how the NWT we're very big on that because we like to make sure that each and every single one of us is well taken care of. Like if one is doing something, like the other one is like taking care of it type of thing. Even though sometimes I'll be such a big sister, like I'm not even gonna lie. I'll be such a big sister, I'll be like, why I gotta carry your shit? You know, but it's just the dynamic and it's
and you can give the attitude,
yeah.
but you still do it.
But I'll be like, let me put something out, let me move some shit around. You don't be knowing that my bag be like hella stacked. Like I'll be having like tea with me, a water bottle, I have a snack, and then like it's you feel me? So like, you know, I gotta keep it cute too. So it's just funny. But we did have a video that dropped, which is welcome, which we shot. I gotta share this scenario with you. Okay, so you're down from this area. So have you been to where there's like it's like an auto parts zone or something like that on 186, which is Quail Roost, and it's kind of like that turn. Like if you were to turn, it would be Caribbean.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's where we shot that video. Some of it, and when we pull up, there's this dude like with the speaker blasting fucking music, jamming. Like I wish I had it on camera, but my phone died. Like, but he was hella jamming, and I just loved it. But this video is the video that they dropped this week, and it was shot and directed by like us. You know, we're the ones who do it, and I'm very excited because I guess I just don't like to not that I don't like to show off, but it's also something that I feel like the people need to know. You know what I mean? Because when it comes down to it, we are the ones who do it. Like you're the one who produces, who engineers it, who, you know what I mean? And then that's money that you're saving because you got all the talent, kind of thing.
Yes, yes and no. I tell people all the time because people, you know, they come into rap and stuff, and they, you know, a lot of my people, they talk to me and they're like, yo, I'm thinking about starting to do myself, you know, like getting a little mic, starting to engineer myself. And I don't discourage anybody, you know what I'm saying? Like, go do it, like see what's good, but just know it's not for everyone, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
And you're right, you may not be paying for studio time, or you may not be paying for a director. Like I have all my film equipment, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But there's a reason you pay, and so you're paying for time.
Exactly.
It's like time is money
yeah.
at the end of the day. So it's like, yeah, you can buy all the equipment and then you don't ever gotta pay for a studio ever again, but you're gonna put the amount of money that you put in to studio time, the amount of time that you're gonna have to put in to learn it, to the amount that you would like, to the quality you would get at a studio. It's
true.
Like it's pretty even. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
True.
Like it's just about how you want to do it.
And then it's also everyone. Like, I feel for some people that if, like, that's why you saying that you encourage it, and I feel that because, you know, sometimes, like, I joke around and I say, like, damn, I would love to be an engineer, you know what I mean? But am I really ready to make that commitment to really become an engineer? You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Like, not that I have a lot on my plate, but that's just not one of the main things. Person. Yeah, exactly. That like, I'll be like, bro, if I had to engineer too, like, not that sleep is important, but I do have a full-time job. I never shy away from that. You know what I mean? And that's what basically pays for everything. And y'all, that's the thing on the Ambition Hour podcast, that I'm always grateful about that. And people, they know that, like, I work a full-time job. I go to the studios, like, on those some of those days that I'm working from 8:30 to 5 o'clock. It's literally like we're going to Dookie's house, like, all right, or we're going to another studio, or we're going to a performance, and then, you know what I mean, you're out of your element for like a couple of hours, and then you got to go back home, and then you got to go to work the next day.
You only have so much energy and like creativity in the day. Like, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
You can't.
And some people don't get that.
Even if you want to do everything, like, you're gonna figure out very quickly, like, you're better at certain things than others, and the best people, they figure out how to delegate. They figure out, all right, like you said, you're building a team. That's really what Dub T Dub is.
Of course,
you get what I'm
yeah,
saying?
we
like,
all have.
It's a team.
We all have each other.
We have our team, and like, there's no reason the teams can't like
Collaborate,
cooperate,
yeah,
and collaborate, but like, you need to build your team because you can't do everything. You know what I'm saying? You need people who are as committed, and the hard part is to find people who are as committed and as invested in your vision as you are.
Exactly.
Because most people aren't going to be. And when you find those people who are, that's when you take off. That's when you make moves.
That's how I feel, and that's how I feel what's happening with you. And I'm very happy that that's happening for you, because I feel like we all deserve to just live our fucking dreams. And a question that is very common on the Ambition Hour podcast is, well, it's not like a question, but it's kind of like a statement. So usually what I say is, thank God I'm ambitious. So it's TGIA, thank God I'm ambitious. And so this week I want to share my thank God I'm ambitious, and you're going to have to share yours. Okay, so thank God I'm ambitious, because all of the times that I was in a very low place a year ago, now has been completely different. And I also have been able to get tickets to go see Mark Anthony, like, with my dad, and like lower level seats. Like, I dropped that bag. You know what I mean? And that's something that I would always tell him. I'm like, yo, I'm going to take you to this concert. And last year, I remember that being such a vision that was so far away because of where I was in my life, you know? So I'm just very grateful for that. And I'm grateful for my ambition for that. So it's your turn.
Damn, that was great.
Thank you.
I'm thankful. You said I'm grateful.
Thank God I'm ambitious.
Thank God I'm ambitious, because it gives my life direction, and I feel like at the end of the day, you're only on here for, on this rock for a limited amount of time, and it's just about how you choose to live it. I'm choosing to live it with a path, my path. And that's an ambitious path.
Hey. All right, bars. I'm gonna have to use that. Can I use it in my? Yo, I've been dying to get in the studio, but like I get too scared, and then I'll be like,
gotta make a track.
Bro, and then I always say it. I always say that I'm gonna do it one day, and then I'm like, I find myself singing in the bathroom, and then I can never like really like do a verse, but I learned them. That's one of the reasons why I love the boys' songs. And why I like your music too, because I was able to pick up the bowling ball, like the bowling team. Yeah, I was able to pick that up very quickly because I was on my phone listening to it, and I'm like, ooh, like, you know what I mean? And I like that shit. I like that part of hip hop hasn't changed, because that's something that the artists get you because of what? Because of the repetition in the song. And maybe not the repetition, but the part that's gonna get you.
Yeah, the shit that you
the one that makes you like,
yeah, you feel me? Like,
yeah, I love it.
That you bump. I mean, people are different too. Like melodies stick, but
when you get a good one,
yeah. But if you spit some lyrics that people can relate to, people will always fuck with you, because you feel me. That's how you say you love Drake. Like, that's how Drake made it. Don't get me wrong. Drake's melodies.
That boy's talented.
Amazing, super talented. But the reason Drake is as influential and as popular as he is because he was the first rapper to really open that side, like his emotion, show his vulnerability, and people related to it, related hard as fuck, and they were like, yo. At first, there were people calling him out like, yo, this nigga's soft, but then people were like, but yeah, every once in a while I'm soft too,
bruh.
And it was like, boom, it clicked, and he just blew up.
That's one of the things that that's one of the things that he brought into hip hop. And it's funny that you mentioned that, because we've talked about that, like, and that's something that I've heard too on another podcast that I like to hear with Hav, is the Joe Budden podcast. Is like that, yeah, Drake is the person who says what someone is afraid to say, you know what I mean? Whether it be a man or a woman.
Yeah.
But, okay, so you liked old Drake. And this is just a quick question because we really got to wrap up the show.
You keep...
Bruh, but it's because I just, like, I got you. Like, it's whatever. Okay, so Take Care or Nothing Was the Same.
Damn, it's so hard.
5.
I gotta say, Nothing Was the Same.
Yes! On camera, boys. Yes! Bro, you don't know how long I've been waiting to hear that on record.
That's a really tough one, but yeah, I gotta say that one.
Man, listen, if you watch the Ambition Hour podcast, you know how I feel about that album. We're not gonna get into it because it's just we're getting to the end of the show. Thank you to everybody who watched. I love you guys, appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for having us here. I'm so happy that Kanye behaved. He was awesome, like always. I mean, like, I be acting like, I mean, it's because he smells my dog. And it's funny because my dog's usually in the podcast too.
So now, 2 dogs. We gotta make them meet one time.
She's very little, but she probably would swear that she could beat him up.
Kanye's good with dogs. He's good with dogs.
It's pretty funny.
But just looking over.
He's so cute.
What he knows what people talk about, or he's just like, what's up, man?
That's something that dogs, it's funny that dogs do that. That's crazy because the picture that I had with him went crazy on Instagram. Everybody loved it. So make sure that you follow me. Make sure that, plug your shit. Please make sure
Mixed by Dookie Studios, and Ain't Shit Gang.
On SoundCloud.
Look it up.
Yes.
It'll be there. I'm not hard to find.
We're going to have all his shit in the bottom. Ding. I make my own sound effects, Dookie.
Awesome. Yo, I swear it's going to be amazing.
It's going to be
like,
awesome.
I've had like 3 interviews. That's my favorite interview.